When your words don't land, it's not just your message that gets ignored, it's you. And over time, that disconnect chips away at your confidence. You start questioning your own words, your own presence. You overthink, you hold back, you hesitate, and you start shrinking and disappearing. And that, my friend, is how brilliant, capable people begin to fade in rooms where they should be shining and beaming. Are you struggling when speaking in public? Are you trying to speak more clearly in life? As much in meetings, presentations, and in everyday conversations? Then you're in the right place. Because contrary to what a lot of people think, public speaking isn't limited to boardrooms and work environments. It happens all the time, all around us, every day. And in this video, I'll show you the science of inspiring communication, what actually works and why it matters. You'll walk away with 3 powerful techniques backed by neuroscience and decades of communication research. And as usual, I'll give you practical tools you can apply today in meetings or with friends. And if you want to have a PDF form so you can get back to it and have it nearby, download your free public speech preparation sheet. I've put the link in the description below. Hi there, I'm Natasha, actor and communication and public speaking coach, and I'm here to help you become a stronger and more impactful communicator by helping you enhance your communication skills to create connections that matter. But enough said about me. Without further ado, let's get started, shall we? You're walking away from a conversation, a meeting, or even a casual dinner with friends thinking, why didn't they feel what I meant? You were saying something that mattered, something that you cared about, but for some reason it didn't land. Their eyes glazed over or they nodded politely and moved on and maybe even changed the subject. You knew what you wanted to say, but the words just came out stiff or too formal or just flat. The words you said just didn't land. That feeling? It hurts because it makes you feel incredibly alone, even in a room filled with people. But your voice deserves to be heard and your message deserves to get through. And you should never have to hide away or stop yourself from shining. So let's tackle this problem and find out solutions so it stops happening again, shall we? Let's talk about why people actually listen. Let me take you back to one of the most fascinating cases in neuroscience. In the 1980s, Antonio Damasio, a neuroscientist and neurologist, was working with a patient that he called Elliot. Elliot had been a successful businessman, sharp, articulate, and reliable. But after surgery to remove a brain tumor from his ventromedial prefrontal cortex, something changed. On the surface, Elliot seemed fine. His IQ was the same, his memory was intact, he could talk about his problems with incredible clarity. Sometimes even too much clarity. Something just wasn't right. Here's what Damasio observed. Elliot could no longer make decisions. He'd spent hours analyzing where to park his car, or whether to schedule a meeting in the morning or in the afternoon. He could list all the pros and cons, but he was completely stuck in analysis mode. There was no urgency, no intuition, no gut feeling. So, Damasio started digging a little deeper. Through a series of clinical tests and interviews, he discovered the missing link. Elliot had lost access to his emotional responses. He couldn't feel his way through decisions anymore. Without emotional input, everything felt equally weighed. Trivial and critical decisions looked the same. And that's when Damasio made a groundbreaking realization. Emotion is not a barrier to reason. It's the foundation of it. He went on to study dozens of patients like Elliot and confirmed the same pattern. When people lose the ability to process emotion, they lose the ability to make even the simplest decisions. These individuals still had all their intelligence, their memory was intact, their reasoning skills were just as sharp, but they just couldn't make decisions, even simple ones like whether to schedule a dentist appointment in the morning or the afternoon. Why? Because they had no emotional markers to guide the decision-making process. Without emotion, everything just felt neutral. They were stuck in endless loops of logic, unable to prioritize or to act. This is what Damasio called the somatic marker hypothesis. The idea that our emotions provide us with quick, subconscious signals about what matters most. Emotions narrows our focus, highlights what's important, and gives us the urgency to move forward. And that is why emotions are so important for us, super communicators. Because emotions drives action. Logic just explains it. So what does this actually mean for us communicators? It means that emotion isn't the enemy of clarity, it's the fuel behind it. If you want people to remember what you said, feel what you meant, or act on your idea, you need to spark emotion first. When you lead only with logic, like facts, figures, polished arguments, you're speaking to the neocortex. But as Damasio's study has found, the decision-making process is emotional first, then rational. So your message might be heard, but it won't be felt. And if it's not felt, it just won't stick or move anyone. The consequence? When you skip the emotional entry point, you risk becoming forgettable, uninspiring. You might inform people, sure, but you won't influence them. Whether it's a meeting, a presentation, or a one-to-one, or even a conversation with someone you care about, if you're not making them feel something, you're not using your full power. Put simply, people don't remember your bullet points. They remember how you made them feel. You need to give them a reason to care, a reason to prioritize you emotionally, before giving them a reason to believe and to act on what you're saying. So if you walk into a meeting, a presentation, or a conversation with only data and bullet points, you're missing the most powerful part of communication, emotional connection. If your message doesn't connect emotionally, it won't land, no matter how well-reasoned and well-researched it is. So, let's take a few real-life examples, shall we? Professionally, it might look like this. Imagine pitching a project to your team. You start with the project plan, the KPIs, and estimated growth. They nod, but you feel that the energy drops. Now try starting with this. Last quarter, we missed a huge opportunity. Not because we didn't have the skills, but because we didn't act fast enough. This project is how we change that. Now they're listening, not just with their minds, but with their motivation. Let's take a social example. You're trying to open up to a friend about a decision that you're struggling with, for example. Instead of saying, I'm thinking of changing jobs because it makes more sense long term, which is extremely rational and logical, you say, every Sunday night I have this knot in my stomach. I just know something's off. I'm not proud of how I've been working lately. I think it's time to move on, but I'm not sure. What do you think? That version, it resonates because it's honest, grounded, and emotional. One small tool you can use today. Before your next important conversation, ask yourself this. What do I want them to feel before I give them what I want them to know? Write down 3 emotions you want your audience to experience. Is it curiosity, empathy, urgency, pride, relief, anything? Then design your opening line to trigger just that. You can start with a relatable moment or a surprising question or even a personal story or a bold truth maybe. Something that sparks feeling first. Then, once they're open, then you walk them into the facts or the proposal or the idea. This is your practical tool here. The formula: emotion, story, message, logic. Start by sharing something real and authentic, something true that they can connect with emotionally. Then, once they're with you emotionally, deliver your key idea. And then support it with data or facts. Say, for example, in a pitch, you can start by describing the real-life struggle your product solves. Put your audience in that scenario, and then sell your product. In a conversation with friends, open up with, something that's emotionally resonant before jumping into advice or perspective. If this one resonated with you, let me know in the comments. And if you want a closer look into emotional hooks, comment the word feel below to let me know if I should, make a follow-up video about that feel. Also, are you enjoying this video so far? Let me know by pressing that like button. Let me tell you something nobody talks about enough. Perfection doesn't move people. Presence does. We've all been there, listening to someone deliver a speech so rehearsed, so polished, it could have just come straight out of a script or could have been a computer saying it, would have been the same. Every word was right, and yet we felt nothing. It was like watching a beautiful performance behind glass. It's like polished, sure, but distant. And if we're frank, we didn't even remember what they said. Now, contrast that with someone who maybe stumbles a little. They lose the place for a second, but they look at you, they breathe, they're not performing, they're connecting. That kind of presence, that's what we remember. That's what makes us feel something. And here's the science behind it. Social psychologist Amy Cuddy from Harvard Business School became widely known for her research on nonverbal communication and body-mind feedback. Her team conducted a now famous experiment. They asked people to adopt either a high-power or a low-power body posture for just 2 minutes. The results? Those who stood or sat in an expansive open posture, like, shoulders back, chest open, hands on hips, experienced a 25 increase in testosterone, one of the hormones linked to confidence, and a 30% decrease in cortisol, the hormone linked to stress. They felt more powerful, and more interestingly, they were perceived by others as more confident, more trustworthy, and more persuasive. So, what does that mean for us? Your body doesn't just reflect your emotions, it can manufacture them. By adjusting your posture and breathing, you send messages to your brain and to others about how grounded, safe, and powerful you are. So, what does this mean in plain English? Presence is not about being loud. It's not about being perfect. It's about being here, in the moment, in this place, as you truly are. Not shrinking, not hiding, not in your head. Present, now and here. People don't need your polish. They need your attention. They need to feel like you're talking to them, not just saying things at them. If you're constantly focused on getting your words right, memorizing your lines, or delivering without a single pause or a stumble, you're probably disconnecting from your audience without even realizing it. Because you're thinking about what and how you say your words. You're not connecting, you're not listening, you're not giving them your attention. Your attention is on you. So you become robotic. And robots don't move people. They usually do quite the opposite, actually. They scare them. You also disconnect from yourself. You lose access to your natural expression, your instincts, your personality, your spontaneity, all the things that make you relatable and trustworthy and that make people want to care about you. To illustrate this, let's take a few practical examples. In a professional setting, it would look like this. So let's say you're giving a presentation in a meeting. You're tempted to race through your points. Instead, slow down. Look your colleagues in the eye. Take a beat between ideas to check if it has landed with them. Maybe ask a rhetorical question and let the silence hang. It will be electrifying energy that comes back to you, my friend. That's attention. That is presence. In a social setting, if you're with a friend who's having a hard time, instead of jumping into advice or saying the perfect comforting phrase, just sit with them. Just breathe. Stay quiet for a moment. And then you just say something simple like, "That sounds really hard." Just acknowledging them, allowing them to be in that place of that moment, that's presence. It's caring. It's listening. So, you're waiting for it, and here's your practical tool for this one. The 5-second grounding ritual. Before your next conversation or presentation, stop for 5 seconds and run this checklist into your mind. Are my feet grounded on the floor? Are my shoulders relaxed and open? Am I breathing into my belly, not into my chest? Am I here with this person or stuck in my head? Can I slow down just a little bit? Maybe take a breath? That 5-second check-in creates a physiological and psychological shift. You'll feel calmer, you'll speak with more clarity, and your audience, whether it's one person or 100, they will feel it. Here's a challenge for you this week. In your next conversation, pause for 2 seconds after your most important point. Don't rush. Let the signs do the heavy lifting for you. It's so powerful. For those of you that are still here, comment this emoji in the comments below or press the like button if it's not already done to let me know that you've made it this far. Let's talk about one of the most common traps in communication, especially for smart, passionate people like you. You got something to say and you've worked hard on it. You're passionate about it. You care. So you walk into the room and you lead the conversation or presentation with all the passion you've got. You share your ideas, your vision, your excitement, your knowledge. You put lots of energy in it. And then you wonder why no one's lighting up in return. It's like you're talking to a brick wall. Here's the problem. The listener isn't wondering, what are you passionate about? Well, if they're passionate, I should be passionate too, right? No. They're wondering, what does what this person's saying mean for me? This is something William Ury and Chris Voss, two of the most respected names in negotiating and conflict resolution, have studied deeply. In Getting to Yes, Ury explains that effective negotiation doesn't start with your argument. It starts with understanding the other person's position, their needs, their fears, their unspoken concerns. Because, and this is what he found, until someone feels understood, they are not ready to listen. Chris Voss, former FBI hostage negotiator and author of Never Split the Difference, takes it even further. He says your number one job in high-stakes conversation is tactical empathy. Not agreeing, not arguing, not persuading, just showing the other person that you truly see and understand their experience, and that you share their feelings about it. And what happens when people feel seen? They lower their guard. They open up, they listen, they open the door to connection. And that's where you want them to be. Because when people connect, they are more likely to say yes, because they care. But if you focus only on your passion, your product, your story, your logic, you might impress people, sure, but you won't move them. You might sound intelligent, even inspiring in the abstract, but your message will float above their heads instead of landing in their hearts. In personal communication, it can come off as self-absorbed, even if it's not your intention, because you care about what you feel about this. In professional settings, it can create distance when you were trying actually to create buy-in. In plain English, if you don't connect your message to their world, they have no reason to care. Your job as a communicator isn't just to say what matters to you, it's to make it matter to them. That's the difference between speaking at and speaking to. It's the connection. And connection doesn't come from passion alone. It comes from empathy, meeting people where they are first, before you try to take them anywhere else. So, here are some real-life examples to make this a little bit clearer and more concrete. Say you're introducing a new internal policy. Instead of saying, "We believe this is an innovative step forward," say, "I know some of you have felt overwhelmed by the current workflow. This update is designed to give you back time, clarity, and control." You start first with the reason behind the change. You start with the why. In a social situation, if you're trying to convince your partner or your friend to take a trip somewhere, instead of saying, "You've always dreamed about going there," try, "I know that you've been feeling a bit stuck lately. This place has the exact kind of peace and beauty that you've been craving." Start with them, not you. It's generous, it's caring. Here's a tool you can start using today. It's called empathy mapping. Before your next important interaction, take 2 minutes and answer these 4 questions about the other person. What are they worried about right now? What are they afraid of? What do they want but don't have yet? What do they fear might happen if nothing changes? What outcome would make them say, "This was worth my time"? Then craft your opening line or argument to touch one of those emotional pressure points. A little extra tip here: acknowledge what's unsaid in the room. Acknowledge the elephant in the room. It builds massive trust between you and your audience. Let me know in the comments if this is the one that you're going to practice first. And don't forget to grab your free downloadable document from the description. All right, today you've learned 3 science-backed emotionally intelligent strategies to inspire any audience. Lead with emotion, land with logic, show up with presence, ditch perfection, speak to their pain, not just your passion. You've got the tools. Try them out, have fun with them, practice, start again, try again, fail and get back on your feet, give yourself feedback and improve. But here's what I want you to remember. Being heard doesn't require being loud or dominant or pushy or unkind. Being respected doesn't require being the smartest or the most competent. Inspiring others comes down to feeling, connection, authenticity, and clarity. And you've got all of these things. You just need to let them out. You don't need to change who you are. You just need to learn how to bring more of yourself into the room and be okay with that. So, tell me in the comments, what's the one insight from today's video that you're going to put into practice this week? I can't wait to read you all. Don't forget to grab your free cheat sheet in the description. It's yours, it's free. And it will transform how you prepare for any public speaking event. If this video has helped you in any way, even a tiny, teeny little way, subscribe to this channel. It's a small gesture for you, but a huge one for me. And it tells the YouTube algorithm to push this video to more people so that even more people can learn new ways to communicate and enhance their relationships, one conversation at a time. I post new videos every week to help you enhance your communication and public speaking skills. And by subscribing and joining our community, you won't miss any of my content, guides, and workshops to come. I can't wait to have you among us. It's your time to shine, my friend. Let's make that voice of you unforgettable. I'll see you in the next video, my friend. But until then, follow your passion and speak up. Ciao, ciao.